That much. Well, it's a little bit better. What's up, guys? Look at many a prints a printing right now. But man, this is just not coming out properly. Click to continue. I need to set the Z offset on this printer again because it is just so let me do with the offset. We go more. There we go. We're getting closer. For some reason, my Z offset just totally went off on the SKR Bear by like a lot. Why it totally went out of whack. Start with that. But yeah, lots of things to work on tonight. Viking, Ryan, Baloo, what's up, what's up? And then the Sidewinder is being really weird too with my prints. My top layers are super duper under extruded. And I've tried boosting my extrusion multiplier a ton and it's still not fixing. So I'm afraid that I messed up my TPU profile somehow, and now it's not printing well anymore. And some of these, doesn't matter. These are going to go on something that it's hidden. So you're not going to see that it's a little bit under extruded on the top. No big deal. But these other ones, it's the opposite way. And it is a big deal. So I need to figure out why it's that way. But that's another time, I think. I did forget my drink. Hang on one second. Let me get my drink, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started doing input shaper on Bumblebee. Where is my drink? There it is. There she blows. Okay. 12 different projects I'm trying to get done right now. It's ridiculous. All right. For anybody not familiar or don't remember, so I went ahead and put Klipper here on the BLV MGN Cube, which is henceforth known as Bumblebee, to fit my all my new printers, all Transformers themed. So I've done a few very simple tests on it so far to kind of dial things in, but I want to go ahead and get input shaper done on here, and then I want to do the pressure advance. I think I also need to do a little bit of the just simple extrusion. I believe I'm over extruding a little bit, even though my E-steps are pretty much perfect, but we just need to double check our extrusion multiplier for actual printing to make sure all that is good. So, all right, let's pull up here. So this is on the Klipper3.org. This is the information what you need to do to be able to tune input shaper, what you need to set all your all your settings to and whatnot. So we're going to go through that here. Change this up to the BLV, and then we're going to pull in the file, which is just the ringing tower, and you don't move it. And there's X and there's Y. They're opposite for how you see the ringing on them. And then we need to do some settings. So we're doing this in vase mode. And input is 0. I believe I can keep the... We're going to drop it down to 0.2 millimeters. 2.5. I don't know, we'll do 0.24 for the first layers there. Jerry, Gear, what's up? How you guys doing? Let's see here. What else we need to change? We need to... Okay. We're going to go speed, and we're going to pump everything. We're going to do 90 on all this. Just to make sure everything... 40 on the first layer, just to give ourselves a chance there. Okay, and then to set. Okay, so let's go to, where was that? Okay, we'll go here to Bumblebee, printer config. I'm gonna go down here to the, where we have printer and mass Excel. We'll set this to 7,000. Excel to decel. There's going to be 7,000. I believe that's it for just in there. Square corner velocity should be 5, which it is. And then, yeah, that's it for here. So save and restart this. And go back to the dashboard because we're going to send some commands. So right now input shaper is disabled, so I don't have to worry about that, but we're going to do this tuning command here. So copy that. Paste it in here, send it. All right, let's just make sure that there is no input shaper set in here, because it should just be, yeah, it's not in here. Perfect. Okay. Close that. Let's make sure we have everything. Perseverance is already 0, so I don't need to worry about that, but I'm going to send it just in case, even though I know it's not actually enabled. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and home everything here. Jim, I'm not going to use an accelerometer. I'm just going to do the whole measurement way of doing it. I might get one since I'm doing Klipper on so many machines now. I might go ahead and do the accelerometer route, but for right now, I'm not. All right, and we're going to run a G32 just to make sure our bed is nice and level, or at least for make sure our axis is aligned properly. I know they're cheap, Maker Viking, but like, I don't know, I just haven't done it yet. I need to order it. It's going to take a month to get to me. Then I need to learn how to use one. But if you guys have a link to one that I can order on Amazon, please put it in the Discord, because then I will definitely check it out. Hey, it's not for the cost of it. It's just I haven't done it yet. I've been using Klipper for, what, 3 weeks now? So, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. All right, so we are 0.021 off. Pretty good. Okay, so I can close these things out here. And then since we're all good on there, here, oh yeah, I just need to do cooling. Uncheck auto cooling, always keep it on. And we are at 100% for the first 2 layers. Yeah, forgot about cooling. All right, slice this up now. That should be good. And we're going to send it. We'll go back over to Bumblebee, watch it, grab it. So you can see up here, it's printing. It's gonna go. Taylor's asking, is this a Hypercube build? No, Taylor, this is the BLV MGN Cube. It is a Core XY machine. You could compare this to like a rail core. I wouldn't say this is considered close to a Volron because it's not. Volrons are quite a bit more engineering into them, I believe. But yeah, this is just like a rail core. Keep that there. Let's go to here. Motion. Do auto Z align. So while this is going, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to work on a few other things that I have going on tonight. One is getting this bear fixed again. I don't know why, it's driving me crazy here. Oh. Order from Triangle Labs, you wait extra long for it. I actually haven't had too bad of luck with Triangle Labs, to be honest. It's not horrible. So we're just waiting for this guy to come up to temperature. It takes a minute for the bed to heat up. This is a very thick bed using a 24-volt heater, so it does take a little bit. Now the bear, again, it just like, it lost its Z offset. So we're going to go ahead and do the custom commands, PLA Z calibration again, and go from there. I don't know why, again, it's being so weird, but, oh, I probably should have put a different color in. What's the bet right now? What setting did I use? Oh, I did PETG. I need to do PLA. Transfer. Slice. Filament settings. Okay. Let me stop this real quick because I definitely used the wrong setting. So let me cancel that. Yep. Let's kill that real quick. Dashboard. We're going to go ahead and preheat to PLA. And we're going to pull this filament out and I'm going to put some silk filament in instead. This silk filament makes it really easy. I have some of this gold silk here from AO Robotics. Last little bit on the roll. Trying to use it up. This is a good use for it. Is tangled? Is it tangled? Yes, it is. So I did this on Megatron last week. I went ahead and did the input shaper on there. Very easy, actually very consistent. So I was happy with that. I did not do pressure advance though, because I've actually talked to people that said they don't do pressure advance. Which again, there's people out there that don't do linear advance as well. So let's see. Actually, for Hypercube build series. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is the Hypercube build? The Hypercube is probably a scale of 1 to 10 Hypercube. I would say Hypercube is a solid 4, I'd say. And then doing something like Megatron is 5, maybe a 6. BLV was a good 8. So the other thing, so with the Hypercube, I mean, again, for what it was a good build. It treated me well for a while. You know, I can't really complain. But definitely has, you know, limitations, and I'm gonna go ahead and convert that to a legacy eventually, a Voron legacy, as that should be a little bit better. I've also debated on kind of making it my own flavor of a just redoing the X and Y to be just like the V0 and kind of scale it a little differently. Kind of take inspiration from that. I wouldn't be able to get serialized because it wouldn't be the same, but one more time, we're going to hear tune, probe offset, a little bit more. Okay, that feels good. Did it unload the filament already? Yes, it did. Okay. Take this. I just had some white in there, some Superfilla, just again, some cheap stuff that I was just using to test with. I do not use good filament for like calibrations and things like that because that's a waste and I'm cheap. Because you got people like Joel doing like test prints with like protopasta. Okay. And tell it to load filament. Is it taking it? Yep, it's eating it. Good. Oh, what am I seeing here? Yeah, Hypercube's not a bad build at all. Adam is asking about the LED progress for on this. No, I have not. So people have sent me like, this is what you need to do to like get it to work, and like all this G code, and like there's this whole like scripting process. I just can't figure it out, Adam. I really can't. I was going to start asking some of the guys on the Discord to help out. There's a few Klipper and Voron guys on there that are some part of the dev team. Some are just very familiar with it. I also am in contact with Cadriel, who makes Fluid. He's got some cool things coming up soon for Fluid, but nothing that's going to help me right now with this. So I just need to try and figure out how to get the percentages out and to these Neopixels. I just don't know how to do that. I wish I could figure out how Duet did it with RepRap firmware, because it just publishes it on pins, and the Arduino pulls that data from the 2 pins and then knows what to do with it and sends it out to these, which is cool. But I don't know how to make Klipper calculate that data and then push it out on that data pin. I really don't know how to do that, and I don't know how to configure it. I was actually just looking at it today. Let me see if I can pull up the where's I at here? I was reading more about them. Here we go. So hey, Ram Design, how you doing? We're doing all right here. So I was just looking here. So here's where you set like the Neopixels at here. So you basically tell it, you know, my Neopixel. So this, I would have to, from what I take it, I'd have to do 3 of these, 1 for each of the rings. So I could call one temperature, bed temperature, nozzle temperature, print progress, whatever it would be. So I get how you do that. And then it tells you in here that the Neopixel command is to set it and the different values. Now he's not booted up. I wonder if it's in Megatron's config. I have the information in one of my printer configs here. I don't know. I think I pulled it out of here. So let me go to Megatron. I think the data's still in there. I didn't pull it out yet. Maybe I did. Yeah, I think I pulled the LED macros out of here, and Ultra Magnus is not booted right now for me to grab that data. Maybe I'll boot it up in a minute. Gary, do they run individual power? So right now, their power and ground are all linked together. They are daisy chained across each other, and I'm just using these 16s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, so I'm using these 16 LED Neopixel rings is what is running in there. And data in and data out are 2 separate pins that go all the way back. And then you have the power that goes all the way. So I'm doing it off of, where is my BLV drawing here? Let me show you the drawing of how this is hooked up right now. Wiring at assembly, wiring, here we go. So currently, well, how it was before is like this. Let me turn me off here. Okay, so on the Duet, this is how it was working. So it's going off the ground in pin 10, and it's a Arduino Pro Mini. And again, so all the data ins go all back to here. There's nothing with data out. It doesn't matter. It's all data in to each of these. And you see ground and power go to all 3 of them. So that's fine. It all goes to this Arduino. And this Arduino runs this sketch here. And I'm not an Arduino person, so I don't know all of it. So basically, it's like looking for data that is sent to it. Let me just double check this print starts okay. I probably need to make my Z offset a little closer or not. But here it tells it like how to scale for the pins and everything. You know, for the different heaters, you can have as many as you want. I just have it doing 3, and it names each of the Neopixels. Up to 6 can be run on here. But yeah, I don't really get how all this works. Because again, it's like receiving data somehow from an output that the Duet puts out, or RepRap Firmware puts out. So I just don't get how it does this. But if anybody knows how to get it to work with the BLV, that would be super slick. It uses UART for it. Okay. If it is, yeah, it is going, it's receive, the Arduino is the receive pin hooked up to pin 10 on the UTX D0 pin. set for 0.2 millimeter layer height, but that's okay. You know, because I know in Octoprint there's a built-in feature for Neopixels that literally it's just identify your pin, identify how many pixels or how many LEDs are in that Neopixel strand, and you go. So it's like having a separate MCU to compute the LED progress. But you can't control LED. So I know you can add them, but again, my problem is that all of that, what's it called? All of that scripting you have to do, I can't figure it out. And I did have a tab open here somewhere where somebody had talked about it. Where is it at now? Probably not be able to find it now. Now anymore. I don't know where it went, but there was somewhere I found somebody had like a script that they had written, but I couldn't understand it. And the script was macros that went in. So Adam, if you know how to do any of that, and if you think you can slightly somehow guide me to that, I'm willing to learn. But again, this is very, very far out of my wheelhouse. Sounded weird. Temperature just a smidge because this is a silk filament. Silk likes to run a little bit cool. What is your name on Discord, Adam? Because I don't know if I have seen you on here. Or maybe I did, and I just don't remember, and I apologize for that, but there's like a couple hundred people on there now. Adam8234. Let me find you real quick. Are you in my Discord, Adam? Whoops, I'm dropping stuff. Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay. I got you. I found you on mine. I just sent you a DM just so I can remember your name on there, make my life easier. But yeah, so again, if you guys, for anybody who's not familiar with Input Shaper, so I showed you how to slice it there. And so this is how it is doing. And what it's doing is every so many layers, it is, acceleration is getting turned up every layer. So it goes up by 1,250 or no, it goes up by 500, right? It goes up by 500 every, something like that. But basically it increases the acceleration throughout this print, and we'll be able to eliminate that ringing eventually after we do some calculations. And again, in Klipper, it's called input shaper, on how you get rid of the ghosting. And you can get rid of the ghosting in Marlin the same way of adjusting, your jerk and your acceleration settings. Just Klipper has a model that literally helps you figure that out way easier than with Marlin, because I don't really know if there is a calculated way to do it in Marlin. I don't think there is. I think you just kind of print real fast and see what happens. And I'm honestly thinking that when I did that last reset, the setting did not save. It's not changing. So we're going to go ahead and stop this real quick. Pause. And then we're going to cancel it. To repaste in the command. Okay. And then I'm going to tell it to print it again. Because I forgot I restarted it and not reset that. I did, Jim, but then again, I forgot I was doing this at PETG temps instead of PLA. And yeah, so I just sent the command again, and I'm restarting the print, and we'll see how this goes. Shouldn't take too long. No, Jim, it changes every 5 layers, I believe it said. Isn't that what the command says here? Band 5. So I'm guessing that's 5 layers or something like that. Or 5 millimeters, yeah, 5 millimeters. Because I don't have the one from Megatron. I already threw that one away. But what I do is once it's done, I use a piece of gaffer's tape and I put it underneath the layer that I want to do my measurements from, mark it, and then take my calipers and measure, and then I can do the math real quick, and then put it input shaper into the printer config, and then pretty much good to go. So Klipper is new for me. So if anybody's been watching, I've been using Klipper for 2 or 3 weeks now, I guess. Maybe 3 weeks total. I've been using it now. I'm running it on 3 machines right now. Bumblebee, which is right here. This is the BLV MGN Cube. I'm running it on Megatron, which is my 2020 Bear custom build, i3 style. And I'm running it on Ultra Magnus, which is the ANET A8 Plus conversion that Aaron created. And that is been running just swell ever since. That one, although, has been off for the past week. I have not had time for that one, but that one is completely tuned with input shaper and pressure advance. So all I have to do is just send files to it and print. Forgot I still had this plugged in to my strip. This is the Pi 4 power strip. I have all my Pis except for Megatron still. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with him. But I did just create a new door for Optimus Prime. I might print that door also for Megatron, and that is where I can mount the Pi directly in the electronics enclosure, and there's a fan in there to keep it cool. It's awesome. So I might end up doing that on that printer as well. Okay, Z offset on here is good now. I can start this print and get things rolling. So we're gonna go to main, go to configuration. We're going to store settings, print. So I'm also using one of these Neopixels in another little project that I want to do here. And Fluid will support it eventually, but I need to print out the parts to make sure things are going to fit. Okay, now that's heating up the nozzle. Take a moment. I just say I really like the new, if any of you guys are using Fluid, so he's done some updates here on, you can just turn the graph on and off. You can scroll in and out. He is changing it that you have to hold shift eventually to scroll in and out. I guess that's pretty annoying for mobile users, but I don't use it on mobile. But it's nice that you can kind of zoom in. You can get really far in there. You can zoom out to see where you're at. I also have it with my Pi CPU in there. If you highlight it, you can see the high and low temp of the Pi. Then you have your heater and extruder. You can set all your presets in here. I only use PLA and PTG, so that's enough for me. So we're heated up almost. There we go. Bump this down a smidge. There we go. The bear's not crashing anymore. Let's take this down another half. High for 0.2 millimeter layer height. I don't normally print 0.2 on this printer. I normally print at 0.3. Oh, that's a little too low now. That's better. Okay. Let me stop messing with that. I might do that, Adam, on my Mark III's clone as well. Just because, right now I'm running, so this guy's running a really old version of the Prusa Marlin that I was given by, I can't remember her name, she's German, but she told me that she could write firmware for me, so she did, and it had to be a little bit different than Prusa's, because that's the cheapest Mark III's you can pretty much buy. I built it for like 320 bucks, and I had to run the motors at a higher amperage. You can't just change that in the Prusa Marlin. Like, it does calculations and it's weird. So I might just, for the sake of being able to tune that and update it, put Klipper on it as well. But I don't think that's going to be a more recent thing. And I also I'm going to order a few more Pi Zeros as well, because that's going to get a Pi Zero. Or maybe you'll get a Pi 3, I'm not sure. But I do have 3 Pi 3s coming, I think. Never use, no, FDM printing does not smell. Unless you're doing like a polycarbonate or ABS, but with PLA, there's zero smell whatsoever. PTG also no smells at all. Adam, was it a 561? No, Adam, it was a complete DIY. I did a few streams on building that. I built that in 2019, I believe was when I built that. So, but no, I sourced all those parts 100% from AliExpress or things that I had laying around. And like I even cheaped out and I didn't get the Prusa 320 millimeter long lead screws. I just did the 300 millimeter integrated lead screws. That saved like $30 because the Prusa ones, for some reason, they're $52 or $60 on AliExpress, where you can get them for 15 bucks a piece on AliExpress if you just buy 300 millimeter and not Prusa 320 millimeters. You know, that's also kind of the thing that a little bit ticks me off about Prusa's design, is that he had to make it weird. Like, why couldn't you just make it a standard size, like 300 or 350 even? Why 320? Because now everyone knows that's the Prusa size of lead screw, and it's way more expensive. And that just, it annoys me. It doesn't tick me off. It just annoys me that he would do something like that just for the sake of doing it. Like, there has to be some rhyme or reason behind it. I'd love to ask him why did you go with non-standard sizes, but it's just weird. It's not security. It's open source. If it was a closed source design, I could understand going with a weird size. But I mean, if you're going to have an open source design, then why do something weird? Garrett, I will disagree. Ultimaker is the printer world's Apple. It's not Prusa. You know, Klipper is definitely the if you talk about, we were talking about firmware the other day, and somebody said it well. Marlin is Windows, Klipper is Linux, and RepRap is Apple. And when it comes to printers, like brands, you know, I would say Ultimaker is Apple, 100%. Prusas are expensive, but they're not overly expensive. Like, yes, I could build one for half the price myself, but I'm getting no support or anything like that, you know, so I think that is the difference there. I mean, I don't have an Ultimaker. What? Yeah, go ahead. I don't have an Ultimaker. I would never spend $3,000 on a printer. That is just ludicrous, in my opinion. Now, if you're a company and you want something that's like going to work 99.9% of the time, so be it then. But I don't think it's worth it as a hobbyist. That is not a hobbyist printer. I would say a Prusa is a enthusiast printer and a Creality is a hobbyist. That price range is like cameras. You know, you've got hobbyist cameras under 500, enthusiast 500 to 1,000 or 1,500, and then, you know, more the pro as 1,500, 2,000 and up on cameras. Printers are 300 and under are the hobbyist DIYers. Then you've got the 300 to 1,000, I think, is the enthusiast. And then you have the 1,000 plus is more of the pro, or I don't know what you would want to call that group of people. I'm just checking on my printers. I've got, what, 5 going right now, 4 going right now, 5 going right now. Everybody's doing the different jobs right now. My Mini is knocking out stuffs for Optimus Prime right now. Doing a fantastic job with some Paramount PETG Autobot Blue. Mwah! It looks fantastic. I also have Decepticon Purple for another printer sometime. When I started printing, the Prusa was almost impossible to get. I mean, Prusas are still, they're not impossible to get right now, but they are really hard to get right now. Like, really hard still. No crows printing tonight. Today's the first day in, I would think, maybe a week and a half that we didn't lose power at all. It's been insane how much time, how often we lose power. And Aaron, if you guys have noticed, Aaron's not in the stream because Aaron hasn't had power since Friday. and he's in Oregon. So I feel bad for him having to deal with that. But I think he said he was hoping today power is going to come back. But yeah, I mean this big winter storm back in the U.S. has really been dampening a lot of people, and there's been a lot of issues. But you haven't started any crows because I've had 4 fail on me now because of power in the past few weeks. I gotta get some more of those guys going soon. Once I have this tuned, I think I'm gonna start knocking some out on here because it's a bigger nozzle. And as long as I don't turn the fan on and I print at night, I can print ABS with it on here. Or I might go ahead and use some PLA or PTG that I have left over just to kind of get it done. But I think I'm going to print some on here with a larger nozzle, maybe up on the artillery. But again, the artillery has just been, I don't know what it's doing. But my top layers are subpar right now. Almost like it's under extruding on the top layers. Can't figure out what it is. I might need to just transfer my settings over to Prusa from the for the artillery and go from there. But that thing is just giving me problems now. But it might just be time to retire that printer. Once this thing starts working, I won't need a i3 style with a 0.6mm nozzle. Won't need it at all. Man, this thing has got, right now, we're at the second iteration, so we are at 2,000 millimeters a second on acceleration, and so far we're doing all right. Why is it set to 2,000? Did this setting not take again? Sent it. Starting tuning test, start at 1250, factor of 100. Why is it sitting at 2,000? Yeah, why is it sitting at 2,000? That's because I didn't set it in acceleration control in here. I think I did it wrong again. All right, we'll go up to 7,000, the max. But yeah, the fact that it is set to this is not all right. Let's go for one more minute, but if it's going to stay at 2,000, it's wrong. So pause this again. Because the 2,000 looks fantastic. We know we can go faster than that. Cancel this. Yep. Tell this to preheat to PLA so we don't lose our temperature. Man, at 2,000, it looks doggone good. So I'm expecting to get pretty high on this. But at 2,000, I was already seeing ringing on the i3 style printers. So we're going to start this guy, restart firmware, restart Klipper, go from there. Just refresh. input that. Here. Make sure pressure advance is off. Input shaper is off. It is because it's not there. So awesome. Yeah. First slicer. Send this again now that I set the higher values. And see if this works. Oh, I did also figure out the part cooling fan after the last stream I did. So we put this into the firmware, into the printer config, and I went ahead and wired it in. So now anytime the hot end turns on, I'd set to 50 degrees, but as soon as you tell it to heat up, even if it's at 20, this fan automatically kicks on. That's fine, but it is on. But at least it's not on all the time, which was kind of the annoying thing that was going on with it. Yeah, I really need to figure out, I really want to get these Neopixels working properly. It'd be really nice to have them working. It's one of the coolest things about the BLV is having the Neopixels. And I don't want to lose that functionality on Klipper. Ouch. Somebody has an Artillery X1 Prusa slicer profile. Did I already add it? I did not. What am I looking for here? This guy has his paste bins, but these are not the right file format. All right, waiting for the nozzle to heat back up, and then this will get started. Just create one, I guess. So while we wait, let's create a profile. next, we're just going to go ahead and add do a Mark 3S with a 0.6. We're going to call it. Just going to change it. My mini config. Shoot. Bring that mini config back in. Okay. All right. So we're going to go here and we're just going to save this out as Sidewinder X1 plus 0.6 millimeter nozzle. Okay. Then we're going to grab stuff from Simplify 3D. How are we doing over there? That's going along all right. Copy that. Brush slicer. Okay, this should work. And then have our ending script. Copy paste that. Didn't break it yet. It's just not quite cooperating as I screw things up. So system presets. Perfect. But we're going to go to here. We're just going to grab this 0.4, attach it. It's fine. Go to the Sidewinder. To delete this one. I'm going to set this to 0.36 millimeter layer height. Of course I'm down at Simplify 3D. Come on, man. It's too easy. First layer height. What are we doing here? I know. That's going to be 0.36 as well. 2 perimeters. 4 and 4 is fine. Extra perimeters if needed. Avoid crossing perimeters. Up that. Detect maybe wrong. Bridging. Nearest. Okay. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Okay. Infill. Percent. 0.46 millimeter. Oh, this is 0.36 millimeter layer height. Call this TPU. 0.6 millimeter nozzle. Simplify 3D 5.0. Indeed. So we're going to do supportive cubic. So we don't want ironing on this. Well, the 0 layers, but don't change that chain. Rim, that's fine. And then part material, not where we're right now. Speeds. So this is going to be like 20 here. Or actually, that's pretty slow. So 5.9. That's 27. We'll call it 25 here. Externals 25. Infill is set to 90%, so we'll do that 25. 25. We'll just do it all at 25. Why not? That was 200. First layer speed is pretty slow, 50%. So we'll do 15 millimeters a second. Go from there. 2023, 30, 23. Okay. So default extrusion widths are set. That's fine. Set this to only work with the Sidewinder. Save that one. All right, filament settings. Save this as TPU. Then for this, fan max is 50%, and then 50%. I'm copying this profile because this simplified 3D profile was great, except for those top layers. So we're going to see if we can't figure out why. Filament, 1.75, yeah. Printing at first layer is 235. Everything else is 230. Bed is off on this. We're using glue stick on this, so. Oh, Mike, you got your V0. Did you get the one at AliExpress? I was just looking at the kit, and it was 400 for the kit, and then 50 for shipping. So if that's what you got, I'm interested to hear about it. Type is, we'll just call this Flex. Printer is just going to be the Sidewinder. Set that. CPU, yep, okay, printer profile now. Okay, so this is 300. Okay, is that what that one is? Is that 310? $300, $300, $400. Okay. So let's set to 400. On extruder, it's running Marlin, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Yeah, I saw CNC Kitchen. He talked about it in the last, what's it called? He talked about it in the last podcast, which is cool to see. I guess I can turn me back on now. Check to see how Bumblebee's doing. Yep, we're at 2500 now. So here it is. It did change up the settings, which is great. So it is working, but we're at 2500 acceleration now. Not bad. I did want to put this up to 220. Extruder, okay. Max 0.5 is fine. Okay, retraction. What are we doing here? So this is 2 millimeters. Not doing a Z lift. Traction speed is 40. Let's see, and then wipe is just a check mark on here. You can set that in Simplify 3D. What bin, Ryan? Oh, Ryan, no, I have not yet. Sorry. I've not had time yet. Take this. So now, do this. So printed parts, common to all versions. Foot. So minimize that. Maximize here. Slice it up. Where is that stealth option at? There's no stealth in the sky. Check that. Slice now. All right, now we'll see if this works. I've seen people buying, again, that $400 kit off Ally, and I'm just very curious on how it worked out. I don't think I would buy one, to be honest. I don't really know yet if I would buy one. It's just such a tiny printer, and its worth to me is pretty minimal because, yeah, I don't always print big things, but I like the ability to print big things. Oh, Robotnik, man, PruSlicer slices super quick. Super duper quick. Oh. And exports. Good. Well, I am looking at a V2. Actually, I'm looking at a Atom. So someone heard a couple different things. So there was somebody, I don't remember if it was Eddie or Kennedy or who it was, but somebody told me that they bought an FT5 because of me, and they had converted it to a 1.8. And I'm really thinking about doing that with the FT5. I mean, yeah, the FT5 is a decent workhorse, and it's already enclosed. But if I can convert that to a Voron within its enclosure, I'd be silly not to, because it just seems like it'd be worthwhile. Start G code's going to work for us here. We'll have to see in a minute. I'm going to see if the Neopixel ring matches this guy here. And it does. Sweet. How that works. Oh, you're using atomic carbon fiber ABS? I was using I'm printing the atomic carbon fiber PETG for Hound, which is going to be the bear I'm going to do. And I have to say, come on, stupid camera. Focus what's in front of you. This cup comes out great. This is on the Mark III's. Just look how good that looks. And the bottom and the inside. But this is atomic carbon fiber PETG, and it just prints like a dream. It is awesome stuff. It's the second printer I'm printing in it. The first one was just the Bear 2.0 that I printed. This is going to be a Bear 2.1 with some modifications, obviously running Klipper. SKR 1.3, or actually it's an NZ board running Klipper is what I'm doing for that one, because I have the INC board that didn't work out in that Bear. But the fact that I can use Klipper on it is kind of like awesome. All right, we are up to 3,500 millimeters a second on the ghosting, and we are definitely starting to see some now. So the acceleration is up to 4,000 now. So I want this thing to go the whole way. I think it'll make it the whole way without skipping because it's Core XY. But I'll be really curious to see what my results end up being, how much it clears it up. We're here. Oh yeah, go back to here. No, 1 second, sorry. Yeah, so that's going. I just need to, I don't see how this is supposed to assemble with this ring in here. This I don't think we need. So I can delete that part. I want to print this file, but it's just, there's not a ton of information for it here. Where's it at? Ah, here it is. This doesn't make any sense. I feel like I should change this model up a little bit. Oh, you're printing molds. Interesting. We pull this into Fusion. Maybe do some quick Fusion work here while we're waiting for this thing to print. Maybe we'll do that. Let's see. Where's that? Close that. Close this. Close this. Here it is. So we need to do the light ring. And we'll pull this into Fusion. Switch to here. Here we go. Right here. Love when things import nice and fast. So we're going to get rid of this inner ring here. We're going to create a sketch here. Nope, not that one. Finish space feature. Now I'll create a sketch here. Project this. Create, let's see, circle, 2-point circle. There. All right, so let's figure out how wide this thing is here. Where'd my calipers go? There they are. Man, Adam, I've been thinking about an MPCNC for a long time, but I just don't have the space for it. Probably call this 45 for this to fit in there comfortably. We do 45. And then how is it? What is it to this outer range? 48. That's 3 millimeters. That's not bad. For us to sit down, we're going to extrude this. And then how thick is this guy here? 3.2 millimeters. Second. Flipping along with Klipper. We're at 5,000 millimeters a second there now. Okay, so -3. I don't want to do that yet. I think I want to make this a little bit taller so that this shows more light through. Because if I extrude 3, and if we inspect from here to here, that is only 1 millimeter. So we're going to extrude all of this up. And let's see, if we want to give this some light, let's make that 3 mil. So let's take this up 3 millimeters. And then enable our sketch again. Extrude there. And then we're going to go cut that up. We're going to do 2 sides. And so how high up did we take this? I took it up 7. Why did I take it up 7? Give us some more light to show through. I think that'll be pretty good. And then we end up remaking this just so that it looks better. Might end up working out. Because this model is pretty low poly count. But we'll do it like this. So let's save this as LED ring. Before we didn't need... Oh, that's a bugger. Actually, I should do this the other way around, maybe. Because now we need supports. This model didn't need supports before, because it printed the other way around. I want to embed it that way, but it has to sit in. There's no way around that. Oh, there's my calipers. Yeah, we're definitely seeing our ringing, so we're gonna let this go the whole way. I think we're probably close to getting 6,000 now. 5,500 now. I can't Dr. Robotnik because this has to sit down in another piece. So I'm going to print it on this face here with supports enabled. It'll be all right. Yell. Bring. Here we go. Let's disable all this stuff again here. Desktop. They didn't want to glue it together though. It's the only bugger part. Guess I could split it. This guy on that face there. It's not flat. Hang on. We'll cut at 7 mil. We'll cut. Arrange those. And click here. Flip this over. Slice it. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. What's our infill look like? We'll see how it turns out. So we're going to do this in PTG now. Let me heat the bear up. We got to change filaments out. Temperature, preheat PETG. And I've got some clear PETG that we're going to use on this. Super glue all the way, yep. We need the SD card. See, this other thing, like having Klipper on all the machines, I can do all this stuff from my web browser. I swear, it almost feels like using anything else is like, I feel like I'm going back in time when I have to like physically take out my SD card and manage these and put it in the computer. I'll put it back over here, preheat from the machine and not from a Klipper screen, you know? It just almost feels like I'm going backwards in time. So I did change this also. This is printing 100 milliliters a second solid. So you kind of can see what this looks like here. So this is, again, 100 millimeters a second solid. Right? Yeah. I didn't rind, but now that I did, like I said, it just feels weird to not use it. Because it has made my flow so much easier. honestly. So I'll give you kudos for that, Ryan, for badgering me for months. So we're at 6,500 millimeters a second right now. Heating failed for some reason. This is weird. Do change filament, unload filament. All right, now we're at 7,000 millimeters a second for acceleration. Why does it keep saying heating failed? Heating just fine. What if my thermistor or heater is going out on this? I wonder. Seems to be doing all right. Second here. Move axis. Extruder. Just stuck in there. This out. I swear, if this bear starts having problems now, it's going to kill my workflow because it's one of my workhorses right now to get all these current projects and prints done. I do also have some LCD screens coming to give Klipper Screen a go. So I've heard, I've seen some pretty cool things about it. Configuration, no, not configuration. The filament. Reset, come on. Auto home. Z-line. Let that run. All right, this finished. Cool. Right. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so show you guys what I do here. Let me get out some tape first. You can put the tape on, then I'll zoom in. So if you want to see how I do it, you can. So we're just going to pick this one right here. Fine. And then a piece of tape. Gaffer's tape, and it shows up really well. So that's why I use this. Okay, so switch over to here. So you guys can see what that looks like. So we're looking at the ringing now. Need a pen. So what I'm going to do is usually skip this first one here. We're going to start right here. So for me, there. And we're going to do it in the middle of like the C. That's what it looks like for me there. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can clearly see 5 here. Go there. Make my mark like that. And then we go over here. That one, go here, and do. So, get out the calipers. Zero that out. Measure this. So it's going to be 13.76. This side. 14.44. Okay, so I got those marked now. Now, we need to do some maths. So we're going to go here to here, and it's going to give us our math. So, calculator out. All right, so it's a frequency. So we're 100 meters a second, and we picked 6 oscillations. So we're doing 100 times 6. We're getting 600. We're going to divide that by the number. So the first one is 13.76. That's right. I did the wrong thing there. Hang on. 600 divided by 13.76. Enter. We get 43.604. That's for Y. And for X, it's going to be 600 divided by 14.44. We're getting 41.551. Okay. Now that we have those values, we are going to here, we need this input shaper information. Let's go to Bumblebee, printer config. And I put this down here at the end right after printer. This is where I like to put it for me. So frequency for X is 41.531. And for Y is 43.654. Yeah. So now we have our input shaper. Oh, sorry, right there, you can see that. There's input shaper right there. So that is for X and Y, and again, they're the opposite sides, so it is kind of a little confusing. Save and restart. Now, if I wanted to, we can go ahead to change our printer here. Save this. Let's go to the BLV. And let's delete all these out. PLA. Let's go ahead and pull in a ripple test real quick. Actually, we can just use the Volron cube. That's usually what I use here. No, not yet, Adam. I'm going to do that. Do that now. I mean, we saw... Yeah, I'm going to set that back to 4,000 watts. Cell and decell. They restart that. We're going to tell this thing to preheat the PLA. Oh, remove it? Oh, I've always left it. I didn't know it said to remove it. I think it said so. Let's see here. Measurements, blah, blah, blah. Measuring, no terrain efficiencies. Put it in there. So choosing the input shaper. See here on my model. Where'd it go here? Oh yeah, so I just put them both back to 4,000. It's in there. I just lowered it down. I think we can leave it at that then. We're gonna try to push this guy here. Across the board. Should we do 100 across the board? Default max Excel, if you don't have it defined as max. Oh, okay. So let's see what we can do with this guy. So we want to. Let's go ahead and rake this guy out real quick. All right, we're gonna let that go now. We'll see how it does. Again, I don't need this to go like insanely fast. If it can go like, decently fast at a good rate, I'm okay with that, Let me see what the Sidewinder's doing. I did not even look at it while it's doing this test print. It could just be making spaghetti right now. I would not know. Oh no, it's printing. Doing a half bad job. Still have, how long do we have here on the Mini? Mini has 11 hours remaining on the Mini. We're just about halfway on Megatron. We've got 5 hours and 40 minutes left on, 3 hours left on Megatron. That's a long time. And we've got 5 hours left on the Prusa. Is Klipper better than Marlin 2.0? Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, Klipper can run on more things than Marlin can because Klipper can literally use any board out there that it supports. Because the Pi runs everything. Like I have a ramps here. I could put a ramps on this and it would work out exactly the same as it would right now with a Duet. Just different pinout. Yeah, the whole no compiling thing is like, that's nice. I like it. I mean, Groggy, I think so Nero just did a video on, you know, pros and cons of Klipper. Actually, he explained what it is and went over it. So that's actually a pretty good video. Well, Brandon, it can, but Marlin 2.0 specifically cannot. And you do get different qualities out of an 8-bit board versus 32-bit board on speed and things like that. Klipper can run faster than Marlin can, which is why that's why Volruns use it, because they go burr real quick, and you can't do that with a regular board. You have to run Klipper on them to go that fast. Yeah, it is very programmy. That's a good buzzword there. It is very programmy to get going, but I have found lots of documentation out there, more and more. Plus, again, in the Discord, we have a Klipper only firmware channel now that we talk about all things Klipper. Plus, the Discord. Discord is so awesome. Like, it is so useful these days. It makes me want to like never look at Facebook again, to be honest. I'm so over Facebook and all the drama and stuff like that. Discord is just like, it's straight facts. Yeah, people grill each other, but like, it's straight facts on Discord. I like it. I wish I could get away from Facebook, but I just can't. It's the only way I can talk to people. Oh, kid, that's the worst, man. You get a Crowdy board, no bootloader. Mitch. You guys still hear me okay? Maybe we just cut off for a quick minute. Let's see. So this is a Volcano hot end. If anybody wants to know, Volcano hot end with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. I'm doing 0.36 millimeter layer heights on this. And my only thing is just, I hope that the fans can keep up, you know. So I'm gonna lower my temperature just a little bit, because the fans can keep up as long as the temperature is not too hot. But if I'm baking my filament, then it doesn't help. Yeah, it is dual 5015s. I'm not doing a nozzle cam. Yeah, this is the hot end mount is all 3D printed. It's all PETG. You? Pretty good though. Sorry, just want to make sure the bear is doing all right. No, this was just moist PETG. Try downing the temperature a little bit more. We're going to go down to 205. Again, we're 100 millimeters a second, and our acceleration is right now 2,500. It's a little bit moist PETG when I was using it, and I didn't feel like reprinting it because this model right here, the BL Touch needs to come down a little bit more. I fixed it in the model. I just haven't reprinted the mount yet, so I might do it at some point. Man, this thing is really shaking my table. What's up, Ryan? Well, it's just hard for me to keep filament dry, just because of where I live. You know, it's very tropical here, so it's having to keep. But usually, it's actually not too bad because my office stays warm and there's so much going on in it. Filament usually does stay pretty dry here. It's only after I leave it out for a couple months does it actually get like pretty soaked. What's up, Dan? How you doing? Yeah, so Groggy, I'm running, let me see if I can show you guys these. Zoom out real quick. So I am running these custom-made racquetball holders. So these have big old racquetballs. So when this is on the ground, the printer shakes, but the vibration is not transferred at all. But I mean, just because it's on this plastic table, it's loud and it shakes the whole table. You can see it wobbling there. But on the ground, it's fantastic. It's just, but they really help. I've been running these racquetballs for a while now. I ran it on the Delta. I ran them on both the CR10 and the CR10S. The FT5 has them on it now. This has it on them. So all the big heavy printers run racquetball feet because it really does help. And they don't deform either. They really keep their form. This actually ends up deforming my table more than they actually deform. So they're pretty good. 205 seems to be pretty good. We are just chewing through this filament though. This wide extrusion. But yeah, this is just a plastic what's this called? This is Max Chief, but it's basically, this is just a different brand of the Lifestyle from like Sam's Club, which is just like the cheap white fold in half tables. I like this one because the legs fold all the way up and then the whole tabletop folds in half, and then I can just store this off to the side. So if I'm ever doing like some bigger work in my office, I can just take this whole table down, fold it up, move it out of the way, and then I have my entire floor space. My office is small. I can rack to rack I can touch. So here to here, I am now touching both of these racks. I can't up there, but down here at lower level, I can touch both sides. That's how small this office is. And these racks are only, I don't think they're quite 2 feet deep, or maybe they're right around 2 feet deep. What are these? Yeah, not even. They're a foot and a half. Not even that. They are 18 inches deep. So my 6 foot wingspan plus another 3 feet. So it's 9 feet wall to wall pretty much in here. And then from the shelves to here, I'd say is a good 12 feet maybe. Aaron's got power, yay! It's shaking. And this, again, I try to like tell people so much. There's so much misinformation about 3D printing. Like I moved in one of my videos the extruder and it or the X carriage and it powered the screen a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna kill your printer. Man, John from Proper Printing, like, got a hold of his and shook it back and forth and never killed the board. Like it's an old wives' tale of 3D printing. The other thing is that they're like, oh, if your printer is shaking, you're going to have bad prints. I'm like, no, you're not. As long as your X, Y, and Z are locked and they are solid, the fact the whole printer moves doesn't matter at all. Because this printer, I could pick this up if I could. It's super heavy. I could pick this up right now, turn it on its side, turn it upside down, flip it around. Nothing would change. Nothing would change. Because the X, Y, and Z are locked to each other. It just absolutely boggles my mind that people are so misinformed about 3D printing. And there's these old wives' tale, this old mythology of 3D printing that is no longer true. What's up, Llama? How you doing? I just wish people would get out of their ruts and actually learn something. You would get better overhangs, Brandon. That's actually why I wanted to do it. That was the one mod I was going to do to the Anycubic console before I got rid of it. I just didn't. I wanted to invert the printer. I wanted to flip that thing over. That would have been so cool. I've seen people do it with the deltas. Have a delta print upside down. Now, Adam, on an i3 style, again, if your Z gantry is locked in place and it's solid, it doesn't matter. You could shake a bare frame 2040, it'd be just fine. Or or what I did on the, on the CR10, having the tension rods, the threaded rod basically to hold that in square. As long as you have something like that, you're fine. It's not going to shake itself loose. Yeah, I mean, things will change eventually. It's just, again, there was so much information when 3D printing first came out. And again, these old wives' tales. And I just don't understand it. Once to get this done, though, I think once this is done, it'll be time to move the BLV back down to the floor and get some of these other reviews done. Sock puppets. Oh, Ryan. Yeah, it just has to be held square. For a Core XY, your Y needs to remain perfectly perpendicular to each side of it. Your X, or I should say parallel to each other. Your X needs to stay perpendicular to X and Y. Your Z needs to stay perpendicular to X, pretty much, or X and Y. As long as those are all locked into place, there's no issues. That's what I think, Ryan. I mean, maybe it didn't 10 years ago, whenever I was like, oh my God, you blew up so many LCDs. Like, I bet maybe it happened 10 years ago. But it's 2021. Like, technology changes. You know, it's like people saying you're never going to get a processor past 5 gigahertz. Easy. We're trying to make sure we're not under extruding at all here because I've got the temperature down. We do have a volcano, so it should be able to handle the temperature. X corner looks a smidge rough. But again, so I'm printing this fast on purpose, just so you guys can kind of see it. I will never print at 100 millimeters a second across the board for everything. I just went and made everything 100. I won't do that. I'm not one of those people that are looking for the fastest 3D printer out there. There are plenty of other people that have that dream. I just want something that prints good quality. The 1 gigahertz barrier. So Groggy, also doing that to a Prusa, to a small i3, to the Bear, it's not going to help. Doing it to the Artillery X1 or a CR10, something with a humongously tall gantry, you'll notice it after 200 millimeters. You'll notice how that rigidity helps. But on a small printer, honestly, Tom's video is pretty useless on that. We all knew it was going to be fine on a small printer. Like, don't compare silicone to a 3D printer. Okay. FDM is slower, you know, because you got to figure the whole big thing with SLA and MSLA, well, MSLA, is being able to print everything at the exact same time. That's where you get your speed. Because it doesn't matter how much is on your build plate. If you're doing 50 millimeters, it's going to take this amount of time with one file. If you have 30 files on there and you're doing 50 millimeters, it takes the exact same amount of time because it prints all the layers at once. FDM doesn't do that. Oh, like Tom compared something else as well. Oh, he compared, this one cracked me up. I don't know if you guys saw Tom's video where he used the little Wi-Fi SD card. He compared the wireless performance of that to wired performance of a Pi. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. Well, TL smoothers are only useful on old stepper drivers. Newer stepper drivers don't benefit from them. Yeah, Adam, that's why I don't print with the resin printers too much unless I really have to, is it takes a while. I mean, I've done videos of my resin routine. I mean, it probably takes a good 20 minutes after every single print to clean it up, and that's like a single thing. If I was printing a bunch of miniatures on the build plate, it would take even longer. But just to do simple objects, it's a while. Yeah, Aaron, I don't know. Some of the things, I mean, Tom's one of the golden children of 3D printing YouTube. We all know that. You know, him, Joel, all those big guys, they're all the golden boys right now. But it just, I don't know. Some of the assumptions that he makes and some of the things he's comparing, I just don't get the point. I don't think Tom puts out misinformation. It's kind of like watching a CHEP video. Scanning an object in order to 3D print it. Like, I don't know. That's kind of common sense to me. I just don't. I mean, I don't watch Tom or I don't watch Chep anymore. I just don't enjoy his content, and I really don't care about Ender 3. That's all he uses. You know, he appeases to that crowd. Cool, go for it. Like, that's not my shtick. But Tom has had a couple things lately that just have bugged me. Yeah, I guess I just used to like Tom's earlier videos. You know, I'm not enjoying his new content as much as I used to. I know a lot of people went away from 3D Maker Noob now that he's doing breaks and makes and all that stuff. A lot of people got turned off by there. I mean, I'm personally turned off by Joel lately as well. Joel's content has been pretty meaningless. Fighting with a $38,000 3D printer that's not worth $500. I don't know. I still like Angus. Some people don't like Devin. I still like Devin. You know, Devin's Tippy Tree is really sweet. I'm like so close to buying that. I might just wait till I move to buy it. Yeah, Ben, that one was cool. I did like Tom's video where he was measuring the diameter of the filament. That was cool. Like, that's the kind of cool stuff I want to see from him. And I have been watching a lot more Nero. I think that's also more just because I'm gearing more towards the Klipper, and now I'm gearing more towards the Volrons. I like Devin from Make Anything because of his design skills. I think he is a fantastic artist. I really like what he makes. The way that Angus is now like re-engineering 3D printable old locking and mechanisms, things like that. That's cool to me. Way above my head, but it's cool to watch. I've done a bunch of his stuff. CNC Kitchen is a little too scientific for me. I don't fully understand a lot of the things that he does, but he's good content. Like, he's very accurate. He's very researched. I do like CNC Kitchen. I'm all right to be meh, Ryan. Yeah, I do like how for Stefan CNC Kitchen, the way that he understands materials is unlike anybody I've seen on YouTube. Like, he really understands the differences in materials and how they're used and how he stress tests them. I would love his swinging arm and his puller. Those are so cool that he made those. Yeah, I mean, with Nero, but look at Nero's live streams, okay? My live streams, right now we're 27 people. I've maxed out at like 40, 45 people. Nero has a third the subscribers I have and sits at like between 250 and 350 viewers on his live streams. Like, that's where it's at right now. People are looking for the cutting edge. What is the best machine I can buy for my money right now? It's a Volron. If you can build your own machine, it's a Volron, 100%. And everyone is diving to that content right now. So he's definitely in the niche right now. I don't know how long it'll last, but yes, he does only have Volrons. He's messing with the Ender 3 now, which is a good outbreak for him. Putting Klipper on it. We'll see how much that goes. How longer that goes for him. Matt, yes. John from Proper Printing is hilarious. I honestly belly laugh when I watch him half the time. He's a funny dude. I really enjoy him. Boron's the newest flash in the pan. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows that Prusa's are good to buy, and if you want to just throw money at a cheap printer, you're going to buy Creality. So, Well, boiler, see, I mean, bull runs are expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, but like a 1.8, from what I've read, you can do around $1,000, which is what the BLV is. This is a $1,000 machine now. Luminom, I appreciate you coming to watch me. I do enjoy it. That's why I do so many live streams, because this is a lot of fun for me. Well, I think the Voruns, everyone has known that they are good machines, but I think now that they're more available, and something like the BLV, the fact you can pick up a $450 kit, and, you know, yes, I've thrown more money into this. I guess it's not quite $1,000, maybe $800 right now. But this is a lot of printer for that price. Oh, I just saw Aaron's leaving, so see you later, Aaron. Sorry. Have I seen the guy Mirage C with a heave art? No, I have not. I debated that, but for me, I don't agree with the Hypercube Evolution or the heave art. Like, yeah, they are like really, really, really advanced machines, but for what they need to do and what they built off the regular Hypercube, the Hypercube works just fine, and you don't need to go over engineering it because you're not going that fast with the Hypercube. If I want to go fast, we'll go to Voron. Yes, it is done. We're going to let the build plate cool down for just a minute. Oh, it actually... Oh, I need to change that. I need to fix my message there. He does. Groggy is that same. Proper printing is good. He includes his bonehead mistakes as well. You guys see my bonehead mistakes live. You see me fry boards. You see me burn the heck out of myself. Like, you've seen it all from me. But the fact that he puts those mistakes in his videos is golden. And I think that really what makes him very relatable is that anyone who has built machines and tried to be on that cutting edge has understood that process. And seeing it from him is pretty funny. See, I've known about Vorons for a long time, but again, I think a few years ago they were a little out of reach. Now, granted, my reach has greatly extended because of YouTube and being able to make money from doing this. So I can reach those goals much faster than the normal person can. You know, could I buy this stuff out of my pocket? Yes. Do I want to? No. You know, I made this channel so that I could explore 3D printing, not to make money from it, but to make it pay for itself. So I could explore things. You know, I just did an AliExpress withdrawal today. I'm getting ready for some purchases to purchase for when I move. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, I think the Voron Legacy is going to be fun. I'm going to need to look into that BOM soon and see what's going on there. All right, let's see here. Let us take a close look at this print. Switch to here. Whoa. All right, so here is, where's our front at? This is our front right here. There's our front. There's a few deviations, but that might just be filament. You know, I've always seen this up in here on Y. I've seen it on every single print I've done. I don't know what's up with that, but it's definitely weird. But that's not too bad. Again, we're using some very old silk PLA. We do have some issues with cooling on X for a little bit on this back. I think just because this corner is so small with that X being there. Y's not too bad. Y's got a bit more meat to it. But X is pretty small in here. But you can see the changes there. And then here we're back over to the other side. Top, looks good. Bottom, textured, little high. Overall, not too bad. And again, this is way faster than what I would normally print at. This is 100 milliseconds. I would probably top this out at maybe 80. So, and again, as Adam just said, pressure advance, not set up yet. So that might be something to tune in here later. But yeah, I mean, that's a 23-minute print to do this. That's not too bad at all. So pressure advance will be the next thing. I don't think I'm going to go into that tonight. We've been at this for over 2 hours now. Forgot I started at 8:30. Yeah, so we're 2 hours in now. I think that's going to be it for today. Maybe Friday we'll do pressure advance if I don't work on it this week. But but I do want to get this off the table soon so that I can work on some other things. I'm off most of the week, which is nice. Some holidays here, so I'm okay with that. Adam, I will be moving. I'll be leaving here in May. I will arrive at my next location in July, but we'll be going back to the States. Have a little bit of time home with the family. My sister's getting married this late spring. So we're going to be back home in the States for about a little less than 2 months, I'd say. And then we'll be heading out in July. So all of everything here will get packed up and moved. And I'll see it. Probably won't get most of my stuff until July, August, September. Probably September I'll get my stuff, but I'm going to ship ahead a few printers. Probably going to ship ahead the Mini. I am right now printing out of that carbon fiber PETG right now on the Mark 3S. I'm printing out parts for a Bear. That's going to be called Hound. And that's going to be running, it's going to be a Bear running the NZ board with Klipper. I'm currently filling a box with all of its parts and 3D printed parts, and I'll be shipping that ahead of me. So as soon as I get there, I will have a printer to build and start working with. So I think we'll be all right, but I'm going to send a couple printers ahead of me so I can print. I'm going to send that one ahead so I have some content to build. As of what comes for like those 2 to 3 months, I don't know yet. I have a few videos that I've been filming in the background here. I'm just been extremely lazy when it comes to editing. I might just hold those videos and publish a few videos in May and June. And it's just going to be a little older content. It's all relevant content, but it's just going to be, I recorded it in December and January. But it's still good content to put out. You know, we'll kind of see how it goes. Oh, Matt, you're leaving Pittsburgh in June. You're doing a cross-country move. I do continental moves. I'll be moving from one continent to another one for this one. So, yeah, maybe we can figure something out, Matt, when I'm home. Ping me on Discord. We'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there, guys. Maybe Friday we'll do pressure advance. Kind of try to keep it a little more streamlined with the streams. Hopefully somebody found this useful who has Klipper and wants to figure out pressure advance. I hope this was useful to them. If you guys have any questions or you guys want to hang out with us, remember, go down the Discord link and hit there. We have, again, we have channels for different firmware. If you're building something, you just want to show off your prints, or if you just want to ask questions, if you're new to 3D printing, it is a extremely friendly place. Anybody here who's in there knows that. So definitely come and hang out with us in the Discord. If you guys want to help me build these projects, donate a little bit to me. There's some links down below how you can do that. Donation links, Patreon, or any of the affiliate links. Affiliate links really do help a ton. Again, I do my withdrawals from there and I'm able to buy things. Bought this printer completely off of AliExpress with the money that you guys have used whenever you're using those affiliate links. So I thank everybody for tuning in and helping out. I'll see you guys on Friday night. Happy printing.